Welcome back to another community update. This one for this week, the 18th of October, 2019. We'll start with the last in the season of the main rulebook army updates from Kyle Preslensky over there at Mastercrafted, in which he dealt with the Abyssal Dwarfs. Now, this much underpowered, played army in my throat. Hardly played army received some much needed massive buffs across the unit profile. Anyway, so hopefully some of you Abyssal Dwarf players who've really struggled to make an impact with your army will manage to, make an impact on the battlefield. Like, I wish there was some new models for this army coming out that meant you could... Oh! He also covered our old friends, the Abyssals, who received some upgrades to their hard-hitting Alpha Strike style. Frankly, I am terrified at the thought of facing them on the battlefield. It fills me with the shivers of fear. I would say that I've really enjoyed Carl's series of videos. I think they've been really great, they've been engaging, and he's done an incredible job. He's off on a well-deserved holiday, so we've got a week break, and then we are into the armies of Panathor. His first video is going to be about the format of the book and how the armies work rather than specific army lists, but as Mr. Ratkin, I tell you what, I'm excited. In last week's update, I told you about the 6 regional qualifiers for Clash of Kings 2020 and the 3 international qualifiers. There has been a 7th regional qualifier, which is going to be the Jack of Hearts 4 School Fundraiser. This is run by the guys from Kings of Hearts and is a qualifier event for a Mantic ticket. Even better, this one is a school fundraiser, which means that your ticket is just £1 plus any donation you want to make. This helps the school that the Kings of Hearts guys run their events out of by donating to them. I heartily recommend you check it out. Mike over at Dash 28 has updated their resources page. This is a pretty cool page listing a number of resources that you can utilize to improve your hobby and knowledge of Kings of War. Head over to Dash 28 to check it out, and if you think there's anything missing, please feel free to email them and tell them to add it. Meanwhile, I thought I'd head over to Kings of War Fanatics to see what was going... What? Are you... Oh my... Are you guys... Are you... You know what? We'll come back. We'll come back to that. Winged Hussar Publishing, in collaboration with a podcast called Countercharge, you may have heard of it, have released the Countercharge Journal, a true and accurate series of narratives for our times, Volume 1. This is a collection of fan-written stories set in the Kings of War universe, featuring miniatures and models painted by Kings of War players. It's a pretty good read, and hopefully the first of many to come. Frantic Gamers released a new podcast episode, this one featuring Matt James, of Rules Committee fame, amongst other things. This one was pretty interesting because Matt ran through his games at Clash of Kings, but put them in the context of what would have changed in version 3. I heartily recommend you take a look, or a listen. Well, I suppose we should check back on Kings of War Fanatics to see if they've calmed down at all. You guys alright? You okay? Live footage here from Tom Annis's house. Nah, just having a bit of fun. There were a couple of posts that caught my eye. This one from Magnus Harkenstad features a multi-base of his Kingdoms of Men. I thought this was a really nice idea, featuring his militia on parade. That makes a really cool multi-base. Another one I really liked was Brian Cook's Kingdoms of Men with Ogre Allies. These are some really cool conversions, which are well worth a look. Needy Cat Games have kept the League of Infamy updates coming, with this blog update on their website about some of the development process. We now have a Kickstarter date of the 28th of this month. I debated with myself whether to include this, but it's part of our community and I really wanted to without wanting to seem trite or inappropriate. The community was rocked this week with the news of the incredibly sad and untimely passing of Lars, who you will know from the Giant Dwarf podcast. Lars was a huge part of our community, whether through his dry and hilarious contributions to Giant Dwarf or the Epic Dwarf map packs. The news was utterly devastating, and it goes without saying that all of our thoughts are with his family and friends at this incredibly difficult time. So with that said, please look after yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you next week.